Yeah, I always forget. So we're doing Adi Lila, chapter 1. We're going to start with text 45. But before I start, are there any questions from previous weeks?
Prabhuji, a small question.
Uh-huh.
You mentioned that we're from Brahma Madhav Gaudiya Sampradaya as opposed to just Madhav Gaudiya Sampradaya.
Okay.
So you further clarified onto it that Tattvavadis never believed that Brahma was ever an illusion. I wanted to clarify what illusion are we talking about here?
Remember Brahma Vimohan Leela, where Brahma thought Krishna was just an ordinary boy? And he stole
Okay.
to the calves and the boys to test Krishna? That was the illusion being referred to. Basically, he
Okay.
did not recognize Krishna.
As a supreme personality of Godhead.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And here is also you said that Tattvavadis never believe in Madhvacharya never commented on this on Bhagavatam because he does not want to accept that our guru can be in illusion.
Correct.
So my question is, not only Tattvavadis are coming from Brahma, we are also coming from Brahma eventually. So he's our guru in a way also. Because
Brahma is definitely our guru.
So why does Madhavacharya never wanted to comment? Because he was personally associating with Brahma, that he believed that he came from Brahma. But even if we are not only Tattvavadis, because we believe Krishna has a form, we are also coming from Brahma. So this was a little confusing last time when you talked about it.
So I'm sorry. So what is the confusion? Can you be more specific? What is the confusion?
So you said that they never wanted to believe that Brahma was an illusion because they're coming from Brahma. But my question is, we are also coming from Brahma, right?
Correct.
Yes. So why are they taking it so personal? Because illusion was later on clarified when Brahma, I read in Srimad Bhagavatam in Canto 2, that when he goes down the stem of the navel and then he searches everywhere, then he finally realizes it's Krishna.
No, Mata, you're confusing. That is totally different pastime.
Okay.
Mataji, Shukla Mataji, can you please mute yourself?
Okay, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Okay, sorry. So that's a totally different pastime. We're talking about the pastime where Lord Brahma stole the calves. That's in 10th canto. I think it's the 14th chapter in the 10th canto.
Okay.
What you're talking about is much, much earlier when Brahma is just born and is wondering what's going on. He's in total darkness and he goes down the stem of the lotus flower to see where he is. So totally different. And the first one, the going down the stem is not illusion. He's just trying to find out who is, what's going on.
So this is coming in the previous canto and the 10th canto comes later. So here he knows that it's Krishna. He's originating from Krishna, but then he comes under illusion in 10th canto later on.
Correct.
So isn't it confusing? He knows.
Why is it confusing? What is confusion?
So he realizes himself in second canto, but then again he's confused with Krishna in 10th canto.
That is why it's called illusion. Krishna puts him in illusion. And the point of the whole story is that anybody, even Lord Brahma, can come in illusion. So who are we?
At any point in time.
At any point in time, yeah.
Okay.
And by the way, we are always in illusion. That's one of the 4 human defects. And we're always in illusion. At least Brahma is not always in illusion because it's Brahma.
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay, fine. Yeah.
If you're not satisfied, you can call me later, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Thank
Anybody
you,
else? Sure, no problem. Anybody else has any questions? Okay. So then we'll start with text 45. Everyone has a book open or online version open? Yes, no?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you. All right. So text 45. Guru Krishna Rupa Hon Shastre Pramane Guru Rupe Krishna Kripa Karen Bhakta Gane. Translation. According to the deliberate opinion of all revealed scriptures, the spiritual master is non-different from Krishna. Lord Krishna, in the form of spiritual master, delivers his devotees. So, purport: the relationship of a disciple with his spiritual master is as good as his relationship with the Supreme Lord. A spiritual master always represents himself as the humblest servitor of the personality of Godhead, but the disciple must look upon him as the manifested representation of Godhead. So, going back to the Guru Ashtakam by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Sakshat Haritvan Samast Shastri. All the scriptures prove and claim that our bona fide spiritual master, being a true representative of the Lord, should be considered as non-different from the Lord by the disciple. And however, that doesn't mean that the spiritual master starts believing he is God. As a matter of fact, one time, one of the Prabhupada disciples said to Srila Prabhupada, you are God, right? And Prabhupada said, no. And that's a very dangerous thought process, because tomorrow you'll become a guru or you'll become God. How is that possible? So therefore, I am also not God, but I'm a humble servant of Krishna or God. Okay. Any questions on that before we go to text 46? Okay. Acharyam mama vijaniyan navamanyeta karhichit namarti buddhyasya syuyeta sarvadeva mayo guru. Translation. One should know the Acharya as myself and never disrespect him in any way. One should not envy him, thinking him an ordinary man, for he is the representative of all the demigods. Okay, so it's a very long purport, and we won't bother reading everything. So I'm just going to summarize this purport. First of all, this verse is spoken by Lord Krishna in Canto 11, Chapter 17, Text 27. He's talking to Uddhava, where he has asked a question about the four social statuses and the four spiritual orders. And he's saying that Krishna is talking about in the previous verses that especially brahmachari should be totally surrendered to a spiritual master and work under the care of spiritual master. In other words, follow all instructions of the spiritual master. Second point is being made in the second paragraph is that the spiritual master is called Acharya, which means he teaches by example. And the spiritual master teaches the Vedic knowledge with all its intricacies and gives the disciple initiation, which is known as the second birth. So first birth is called Shukra birth, and this is called, I forget the name now, in Sanskrit. Anyway, first initiation, the Harinam initiation, is known as second birth. And this is where disciple getting ready to study the spiritual sides. And the word being used here is called Upaniti, which means getting, doing activities that brings one closer to the spiritual master. And a person who cannot be taught this way, or actually I should say, a person who refuses to learn this way, which will bring him closer to his spiritual master, should not and cannot get second initiation. So that's the Yagik. So therefore, it's important that between the first initiation and second initiation, the disciple has learned and studied all the scriptures recommended by the spiritual master and has followed all instructions. This is what we were talking about yesterday, that you cannot force a spiritual master to give you initiation, because then you don't get the blessings. You have to earn the right to be second initiated. And a person who does not follow the instructions and therefore does not come near the spiritual master is called Shudra. Okay. Otherwise, the sacred thread that you get upon second initiation is nothing but just a thread. It has no meaning otherwise. Okay. An Acharya would also know all the scriptures very, very well. Says Shabde Parecha Nishnitam, says it's like the Acharya has taken a bath in scriptures. In other words, totally immersed in them, totally understanding it very, very well. And he should be able to convince everybody else of what was written in the scriptures. And the Acharya would teach the disciple to take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he himself gives the shelter to the disciple for any issues that they may have. However, if somebody is poses or pretends to be an Acharya, but does not have the attitude of servitorship to the Lord, then he's an offender. He's not a real guru. Not only is not a real guru, he's an offender, and he cannot be an Acharya in that case. But the true Acharya, who has completely surrendered himself to the Lord, can be known, is known as Acharya Deva. Okay. Now, next paragraph saying that a disciple should always respect the spiritual master as a manifestation of Shri Krishna. So representative of Krishna or non-different from Krishna. However, we should always remember that a true spiritual master is not authorized to imitate the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. These are the false or bogus spiritual masters try to do that, and they should be rejected. Next paragraph talks about the Achintya Bheda philosophy. It basically says everything is simultaneously one with and different from Krishna. And that is the real position of the spiritual master as per Raghunath Das Goswami. Excuse me. The spiritual master has a very intimate relationship with the Lord. And Jiva Goswami has said the same thing, that a pure devotee's observation of the spiritual master and Lord Shiva as being one with the personality of Godhead exists in terms of their being very dear to the Lord. So the spiritual master, a pure devotee, is very, very dear to the Lord, but not identical to the Lord. So that's the thing, Achintya Bheda Bhed. Yes, very dear to the Lord, same level as the Lord, but not Lord. It's not the same thing. Okay? So, okay. I think that's it. What the last point in this paragraph is this is the last line of the last paragraph of the purport. In all the ancient literatures of devotional service and in the more recent songs of Srila Narottam Das Thakur, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and other unalloyed Vaishnavas, the spiritual master is always considered either one of the confidential associates of Srimati Radharani or a manifested representation of Srila Nityananda Prabhu. So Nityananda Prabhu is Lord Balaram. So Guru is representative of Lord Balaram or Lord Nityananda, and is also confidential associate of Srimati Radharani because she's the one being a pure or topmost servant of Lord Krishna. She's the one who allows the spiritual master to connect the disciple to Lord Krishna through the parampara system. So it is Radharani who empowers the spiritual master to connect the disciple to the parampara and through parampara to Krishna. And it's Lord Balaram who through his spiritual strength empowers the spiritual master to take away the sins of the disciple as well as show him the path to Krishna. Questions or comments?
Yes, Prabhuji, I have a comment.
Boliye.
Prabhuji, first of all, what you have told us, we have read here is a big responsibility to take the second initiation. So I would be very thankful to our spiritual master who bestow his mercy upon me and give me the second initiation, though I don't have a full knowledge of the Shastra, which I supposed to have. And secondly, I will really be obliged to you, Prabhuji, who is giving us all this knowledge about the scriptures and giving us knowledge about all these scriptures, Prabhuji. That is all.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Anybody else?
Yeah, Prabhuji, just one question. So Radharani is close to Krishna, so she takes us to Krishna, and that Lord Balaraman, as you mentioned, gives us strength or shows a path. So can you little bit of I'm trying to get these two different things, right, Prabhuji? Radharani and Lord Balaraman.
So Lord Balaram, actually one of the weapons that Lord Balaram has is plow. So now those of us who have some understanding of agriculture know that the plow is used to till the land, which is normally very hard, full of rocks and weeds and all sorts of other things that have to be removed before the land is ready to accept a seed that can sprout. So, as Lord Chaitanya said, Brahmad Brahmate Kyono Bhagavan Ji, Guru Krishna Prasade Paye Bhakti Lata Bij. So, a very lucky soul is able to get the seed of devotional service either by the mercy of the Lord or by the mercy of the spiritual master. But as we also know, that is one thing to put the seed on the ground, but the seed doesn't grow automatically. It has to be watered, the land has to be right, the weeds have to be removed, and all the rocks, etc., have to be removed also for the seed to fructify. So same thing, our heart is very hard, it's full of weeds called anarthas, it's full of hard things called our pride and false ego. So Lord Balaram, using his plow, softens our heart, first of all, to prepare it to accept the seed. Then we have to go through the watering process, which is the chanting of the holy name. When we do that with the guidance of the spiritual master, who tells us how to chant without offenses, how to perform other 9 processes of devotional service, how to act with other devotees, how to act with the spiritual master himself or other spiritual masters, etc., etc. He's showing the way to get ready to go to Krishna. That is all coming from the strength of the spiritual strength of Lord Balaram. However, sorry, you have a question? Do you have a question? Okay. So, okay. So
no, Prabhuji, thank you.
Okay. So then Radharani comes into the picture after Lord Balaram has done his job. She's the one who provides the connection of the parampara to Lord Krishna, to the Guru. So it is her connection that allows the spiritual master to connect the disciple to Krishna. This is why it is said that without a spiritual master, no matter how much chanting you're doing, how much service you're doing, no matter what else you're doing, you cannot go to Krishna without a spiritual master, because that's where the connection is made. We'll talk about Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru. Shiksha Guru can take you all the way, but not connect you to Krishna. And the example Prabhupada gave was, assume a lamp. The Shiksha Guru can take the plug of the lamp all the way to the socket on the wall, but not plug it in. It's the spiritual master that plugs it in, and that's when the connection is made, and the lamp will come on. And that's the role that Radharani is playing, and the Guru is playing with the help of our blessings of Radharani to connect the disciple to Lord Krishna. Okay, I think you said thank you, but yeah, okay. Anybody else? Okay, all right. So I'll keep going to text 47. Shiksha Guru te jani Krishner Swarup Antaryami Bhakta Shrestha Eidei Roop. Translation. One should know the instructing spiritual master to be the personality of Krishna. Lord Krishna manifests himself as a super soul and as the greatest devotee of the Lord. So we had talked about the initiating spiritual master to be same as the Lord. Now Krishnadas Kaviraj is saying that even the instructing spiritual master is same as Krishna. And then it says that Krishna manifests himself as super soul and as the greatest devotee of the Lord, which is Lord Chaitanya, as the instructing spiritual master. And the purport will elaborate on that. Okay. Does somebody want to read that? We can cover this.
I can read, Prabhuji.
Go ahead.
Purport. Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami states that the instruction spiritual master is the bona fide representative of Shri Krishna. Shri Krishna himself teaches us as the instructing spiritual master from within and without. From within he teaches as Paramatma, as constant companion, and from without he teaches from the Bhagavad Gita as the instructing spiritual master.
Okay, Prabhu, just hold on. So that's the point. Krishna is instructing his spiritual master as Paramatma from within, and from without, teaching from scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, etc. So there's two forms that he's doing. You can think of it as Lord Nityanand, Lord Chaitanya, Lord in his spiritual master, even Krishna himself teaching Bhagavad Gita from outside. Okay, Prabhuji, go ahead.
There are two kinds of instructing spiritual master. One is the liberated person fully absorbed in the meditation in devotional service, and the other is he who invokes the disciple's spiritual consciousness by means of relevant instruction.
Okay, stop, Prabhu. Stop, please. So now they're talking about two types of devotees. One is called Bhajananandi, which is the person who's basically only worried about himself, doesn't associate with many people, may live in a secluded place, and just does his bhajan. Second is the one who goes out and gives Krishna and Krishna consciousness to other people, like Srila Prabhupada. They're known as Goshti Anandi. They'll actually go out and tell people about Krishna consciousness. Okay, Prabhuji, go ahead.
Thus, the instructions in the sense of devotion are differentiated in terms of objective and subjective ways of understanding.
Okay, but hold on. So once again, when we receive an instruction, we use a filter of our own biases, of our own previous understandings. So when we do that, it's called subjective understanding, because we are making it subject to our previous understanding of biases. Objective is one who's able to take it without any filters. I receive it as I receive it and I take it as it is. That's called objective. Okay, go ahead, Prabhu.
The Acharya, in the true sense of the term, who is authorized to deliver Krishna, enriches the disciple with full spiritual knowledge and thus awakens him to the activities of devotional service.
Right. So this is the second kind of devotee like Prabhupada, who's going to people and awakening Krishna consciousness in them. Okay. Somebody else now? Second paragraph.
I can read it, Prabhuji.
Oh, Prabhu, go ahead. Yes.
When by learning from the self-realized spiritual master, one actually engages himself in the service of Lord Vishnu, functional devotional service begins. The procedures of this devotional service are known as abhideya, or actions one is duty bound to perform. Our only shelter is the Supreme Lord, and one who teaches how to approach Krishna is the functioning form of the personality of Godhead. There is no difference between the shelter-giving Supreme Lord and the initiating and instructing spiritual masters. If one foolishly discriminates between them, he commits an offense in the discharge of devotional service.
Right. Thank you. So once again, point being made is that we are supposed to learn from a self-realized spiritual master or bona fide spiritual master, and then engage in the service of the Lord, and that is called functional devotional service. Functional meaning you're actually doing something. It's like service. And that is the process of the service known as abhideya. So you may recall Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojan. Abhideya is the process. I'll talk about that in more detail in a little bit of time. And again, the point being made is that there's no difference between the instructing, initiating, and the Lord himself. Anybody who discriminates, he's just a fool and is an offender. Okay, next paragraph, somebody please.
I can read it, Baba.
Oh, please do, yeah, Usha.
Srila Sanatan Goswami is the ideal spiritual master, for he delivers one the shelter of the lotus feet of Madan Mohan. Even though one may be unable to travel on the field of Vrindavan due to the forgetfulness of his relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he can get an adequate opportunity to stay in Vrindavan and derive all spiritual benefits by the mercy of Sanatan Goswami. Sri Govinda Ji acts exactly like the Shiksha Guru, instructing spiritual master. By teaching Arjuna the Bhagavad Gita. He is the original preceptor, for he gives us instructions and an opportunity to serve him. The initiating spiritual master is a personal manifestation of Srila Madan Mohan, Vigraha Vera Vigraha. Whereas the instructing spiritual master is a personal representative of Srila Govinda Deva Vigraha. Both of these deities are worshipped at the Vrindavan. Srila Gopinath is the ultimate attraction in spiritual realization.
Right. So, point being made here is that the three deities, Srila Madan Mohanji, Radha Govindji, and Gopinathji. So, Madan Mohanji is the Supreme Personality of Godhead in charge of Sambandh, the relationship between the Jiva and the Lord. Govindji is in charge of Abhidhe, the process of devotional service. And Gopinathji is the Prayojan, which is the ultimate goal of love of God. So these three deities represent those three processes. And of course, we know Sanatana Goswami is the Sambandha Acharya, Rupa Goswami is the Abhidheya Acharya, and Raghunath Das Goswami is the Prayojan Acharya. And they have written different books and instructions to further explain these three things. Any questions or comments on that?
Prabhu, but they all, like Gopinath, Govindji, Madana Mohan, they are all Krishna.
They are Krishna, yes. They're different forms of Krishna.
Just different forms.
Yeah, different form, not in this, they look just different deities representing different processes. So you can, if you can serve Madan Mohanji, you'll be able to establish your relationship. They just take responsibility for that. You know, serve Radha Govindji, you'll be able to perform devotional service better and better and better. You serve Gopinathji, you ultimately get the ultimate love of Krishna. So there's different deities responsible for different processes.
So these deities in the Vrindavan, what about here in present? In present, current, here in my house, let's say.
Yes, so they all combine into whatever, like Radha Madan Mohanji, for example, in Vancouver. Okay, Radha Madan Mohanji is not just Sambandh in Vancouver, but Radha Madan Mohanji in Karoli is Sambandh.
Everything. Three of them.
Sambandh. Sambandh means the relationship. Radha Govindji in Karoli, sorry, in Jaipur, and Gopinath in Jaipur, they represent other, the Abhidheya and the Prayojan. It's just, don't get so confused. They have taken responsibility for this. That's it. That's it. It doesn't mean they are not Krishna. It doesn't mean that they're different from Krishna. Okay, did I get you all confused?
Very deep philosophy.
I know, that's right. I think it's a little confusing.
Very confusing.
Just look at it this way, that as we're trying to establish our relationship, if we pray to Madan Mohanji, it gets established sooner and faster. If we pray to Radha Govindji, then our devotional service process itself becomes stronger, faster. If you pray to Gopinathji, then we are able to achieve the ultimate goal of life, which is love of Krishna, faster. That's it. If you analyze it any further, you'll get confused.
Hare Krishna, Pitashri.
Sorry?
I said we can ask all these three prayers to Radha Madan Mohan.
Yeah, you can. That's what I'm saying. In Vancouver, you can do that. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I said. Okay. Nandimukhi, you were saying?
Yes, Pitashri, I think so. Maybe you are right. And Usha, question is very good. Usha, thank you so much for asking this question. So Pitashri, different deities and they do different leelas, right?
Well, I don't know how to say that. What do you mean by deities do different leelas?
Yeah.
Not sure I understand.
Different, this the same, just is Sakshi Gopal name is just a kind of Sakshi Gopal. They do different Leela, and Madan Mohan, they do different Leela, different. And Radha Madan Gopal, they are different Leela, different kind of Leelas. They do different Leela than different deities. This is meaning the same thing.
Leela or functioning?
Functioning in Leela is maybe same.
So tell me, what leela is Madan Gopalji doing in Vancouver?
No, just my question. I ask you question. Maybe different Leelas and different deities and different
No,
Leelas.
that's what I'm saying. No, that's not the case. There's some deities who have done once they have done a pastime because of they got the name. You take the name of Sakshi Gopal. It's a one-time pastime. That's it.
Okay.
So he got his name because of that pastime, right? Sakshi Gopal.
Okay.
Right? I'm not aware. I mean, Madan Gopal has done some pastimes with the princess of Jaipur. Radha has done pastimes with different devotees, but it's not because he's Radha Govindji.
Okay.
So also understand that these three deities we're talking about, they were all carved by Vishwakarma upon instruction of the grandson of Lord Krishna, Bhajana. And as the story goes, that Vajjanabh called his grandmother Uttara to say, confirm that this deity looks like Krishna. And the first deity that was carved, she said only the feet, the lotus feet, look like Krishna's. So he said, okay, then I need another deity. And that deity is known as Madan Mohanji. So next deity was carved, and they said, oh, only the chest looks like Krishna's. And that became Gopinathji. Then the third deity was cast. I said, oh yeah, now the face looks like it. That became Radha Govindji. So that's how the three deities appeared. And then because they were served by, Madan Mohanji was served by Sanatana Goswami, who is the Acharya for Sambandha Gyan. Therefore, he is known as Sambandha deity. So it's because of the devotee who is serving him, not because of what anything he did. Similarly, Govindji is served by Rupa Goswami, who is in charge of Acharya of Abhiday, the process. So he's known as Abhiday deity. But again, because of the devotee who served him.
Okay.
Okay. It's not the deity did something.
Okay. Thank you so much, Pitashri. It's very, very deep question, really.
But does that make it a little more clear that it's the devotee who served what the mood was that gave basically the name to the deity.
Thank you so much, Pitashri.
Okay.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
it's still not clear. That's the best I can do.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Usha.
Oh, I'm asking everything from Radha Madan. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's all you need to do.
Not complication.
For those who don't know, the deity in Vancouver is called Radha Madan Mohanji, and that's what she's referring to. Okay, text 48. Naivopayanti apachittam kavyasatavesha tavesha brahmayusha pikritam radha riddha mudah sparantaha yontar bahistanubhritam ashubham vidhunvan Acharya Chaitya Vapusha Swagatim Vayantaki. Sorry, Vyanakti. Translation. Oh my Lord, transcendental poets and experts in spiritual science could not fully express their indebtedness to you, even if they were endowed with a prolonged lifetime of Brahma. For you appear in two features, externally as the Acharya and internally as the super soul, deliver the embodied living being by directing him how to come to you. So once again, basically is previous verse rephrased, making the point again, Krishna, you are the Paramatma as Chaitya Guru, and outside as the real Guru or bona fide Guru, and there's no difference between the two and you. Okay? Clear?
Okay, Prabhu, can I? Sorry, go ahead. No, sorry.
I'm sorry, Raghav?
No, Mataji, go ahead.
No, Raghav, you go ahead. It's okay.
So, like, even in the previous verse, right? Like I think you also we touched on the three deities in the past as well, but generally speaking, what would come first then? Initiation or instruction? Like you would need instruction first, then initiation, even if it is I understand that after initiation that's when you learn the Vedas, but you still need instruction before.
Correct. So
So
you're
what
correct.
comes first?
So instructions, again, remember the many instructions, different types of instructions. So initial instructions come from Shiksha Guru. Because you don't have a guru at that time. I mean, a initiating guru or Diksha Guru. So the lot of times Shiksha Guru will become your Diksha Guru also. So those instructions definitely come first. And then you get different kinds of instructions from Diksha Guru.
And if you don't have like let's say you are in the process of life, but you do pass away, then but you are working towards it. It's then you don't have a Diksha Guru. Then who is your Shiksha Guru? Is it your Paramatma? Is it then because you can't control life?
No. So, okay. When you're alive, you may have a Shiksha Guru along with Paramatma as your Shiksha Guru. Then you leave your body, you get the next body. Paramatma remains your Shiksha Guru no matter what, because Paramatma always stays with you. As you transmigrate, Paramatma stays with you. And then you may get another Shiksha Guru, an external Shiksha Guru also. Depends. Depends upon what you're up to in the next life. Yeah, or did I misunderstand your question?
No. The point, because in the two verses before, it was like you mentioned that if a person doesn't have a guru, or then whatever he does, is chanting, his whatever is practically useless.
No. That's not what I said. No, that's not what I said. What I said was, unless you have a bona fide spiritual master to guide you, you cannot get love of Krishna no matter how much you try. I didn't say it's useless. I said you cannot get love of Krishna. You cannot get connected to Krishna. That's what I said.
Okay.
Just remember, any devotional service, for example, chanting, cannot go to waste. There's a verse in Bhagavad Gita, Neha Vikram Nashosti Pratyavayo Navidite. That whatever you do, devotional service stays with you for the rest of eternity. You can change your body 1,000,000 times, but that will stay with you. So it's never a waste. Even chanting with offense is not a waste. It just doesn't get you the love of Krishna. You see the distinction?
Yeah. Okay.
Uji, I have a question.
Gayatri, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So if because you're Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru, if there's a discrepancy, as per what we're reading, they're both representative of the Supreme Lord. If there's a discrepancy in something that's being said, do we always just go by our Diksha Guru?
Why do you have to ask difficult questions? So, if it's a genuine Shiksha Guru, a genuine Diksha Guru, there will be no discrepancy between the instructions. The problem comes when Haribol, everybody please mute yourself except the person I'm talking to and me. And when you get a chance to talk, you can unmute, please. So, this is why you may often have heard me say that Shiksha Guru is at the same level as Diksha Guru. Therefore, someone like me cannot be a Shiksha Guru. Cannot be a Shiksha Guru, period, because I'm not at the level of a Guru, right? Your spiritual master and my spiritual master are at the same level. So your spiritual master can be my Shiksha Guru, and he is, and my spiritual master can be your Shiksha Guru. I don't know if he is or not. But I cannot be a Shiksha Guru because I'm not at their level, at your spiritual master level. But somebody who is will not give instructions which are in contradiction. Now, I'm not trying to be coward here. I'm going to answer your question more directly. Our Gaudiya Sampradaya, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, that we belong to, is based on Shiksha. So, for example, if you look at our parampara, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was not the Diksha Guru of Gaur Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj. Jagannathas Babaji Maharaj was not a Diksha Guru for Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Okay, so they are in parampara, but based on Shiksha, not on Diksha. So our whole parampara is based on Shiksha. So therefore, it can be concluded that Shiksha Guru is more important than Diksha Guru in the sense of following the instructions. But always remembering that both bona fide, there'll never be any discrepancy anywhere. So you don't have to worry about that. It's when you start calling people like me Shiksha Guru, there's a problem. Okay, does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think it's our understanding of what a guru is that's lacking.
Yeah, not only that, we get very sentimental. And anybody who gave you 2 instructions say, oh, this was Shiksha Guru. But it's not.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, sorry to interrupt. Did you just say that Shiksha Guru is more important than Diksha Guru? Did I hear that?
Yes, Mataji, you heard that. And I'm talking in the context of our parampara. And that's why I give the example that in our parampara, you will see people who are Shiksha Gurus. In the parampara, Diksha Gurus are not. Like, how many people know in this call who the spiritual master of Bhaktivinoda Thakur was? Diksha Guru. Right? But we all know that Gaur Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj was the Shiksha Guru. So I'm sorry, Jagannath Babaji Maharaj was the Shiksha Guru. Right? So it's important in that sense.
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay, yeah. Makes sense.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you. Nana, you
Prabhu, can I ask one question?
Nandagopal Prabhu, yes, of course you can.
So now this brings me another confusion here. So when we say Diksha Guru is the one who takes all the way back to Krishna. Is that the same responsibility of Shiksha Guru also?
Can be, doesn't have to be. As I was saying before, that Shiksha Guru doesn't connect you to Krishna. But if you're already connected to Krishna because of Diksha Guru, then he can help you get there. But if you don't have a Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru cannot.
Sure. Shiksha Guru cannot, he said.
Correct.
Okay.
But if you have Diksha Guru already, then he can, because you already have the connection.
And in our disciplic line, as you said, they are all Shiksha, many of them are Shiksha line. Right.
Shiksha line is considered more important than Diksha.
More important.
Yeah.
And we haven't come across a conflict between a Diksha and a Shiksha in our
That's because thank you for making that point, because that's the point I was trying to make, that when they're both genuine, will be no variation. There will be no discrepancy.
Yeah.
It's when you make a non-genuine person like me or Shiksha Guru, there's a problem.
So therefore my point is, we would never know that Shiksha is the important and Diksha more than Diksha, because there was no such discrepancy between the two.
Correct. Also, don't forget, Diksha Guru is also your Shiksha Guru. Diksha Guru is your Shiksha Guru. Shiksha Guru may or may not be your Diksha Guru. That's also you should understand. Is that clear? Should I say it again? Your Diksha Guru is definitely your Shiksha Guru. But your Shiksha Guru may not be your Diksha Guru.
Oh, yes, Prabhu. Yes. Yeah, that's right.
Once again, go back to the example I was giving to Gayatri. Her spiritual master is His Holiness Radha Govind. My spiritual master is His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj. They will never give you contradictory instructions. But because I am already already initiated, His Holiness Radha Goswami can, if he so wishes, take me to Krishna. So can Gopal Krishna Maharaj. But if I was not initiated, then neither Gopal Krishna Maharaj nor Radha Govind Swami can take somebody to Krishna without getting the initiation. Is that making it clearer, or is it making it clear as mud?
Yes, Prabhu, yes.
Okay, all right. Nana, thank you for your patience. Mohit or Nana, which one of you?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So it's lovely from her phone.
Sorry, somebody's got a lot of noise from the background. Okay, thank you. Yes, Mohit, go ahead.
Prabhuji, I got a question. So when we hear scriptures, so for example, hearing from you, so we're gonna consider you as a Shiksha Guru?
No, that's what I'm saying. Thinking of me as a rascal. I'm just trying to explain what I'm reading, what I understand. So ISKCON says I can be your Shiksha monitor, but I cannot be your Shiksha Guru. Because I'm not the same level as your Guru. Actually, he is my spiritual master. How can I be same level? So I am not your Shiksha Guru.
Prabhuji,
Huh.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhuji, you just broke my heart just now. My question was the same as Mohit Prabhu's. All along, because Prabhu, I've always considered you as my Manasiga Guru. You've given us more knowledge than anybody else in ISKCON, Prabhu. I mean, I'm not trying to compare or contrast. I've learned more from you even than my own Guru Maharaj. So why shouldn't or why can't I consider you as my Manasiga Guru, Prabhu? Why are you saying that?
Mataji, because I'm trying to tell you the fact, as opposed to put myself in a puffed up position and do something wrong. So
no, be honest. Like, are you just trying to be humble?
No, I'm not really humble. I can be humble.
No, Prabhu, stop, Prabhu, please. This is serious for me. Okay, you can't do this. Like, are you just saying that because you want to be humble, right?
No.
But my question is genuine.
My answer is very genuine.
Why am I not able to accept it?
Sorry?
Why am I not able to accept it?
So you know what? You should go and talk to somebody who's a senior devotee and ask them the same question. It's totally unbiased, answer you can get from somebody, and let them explain it to you. I'm telling you based on my understanding, and it's within ISKCON, they will explain it. They use the term Shiksha monitor. And I can be a Shiksha monitor, there's no question about it. Shiksha monitor can also instruct. But he's not a Shiksha Guru. Shiksha Guru has to be the same level as Diksha Guru.
Okay. I need to sleep on this. I'm not going to agree to you, but
that's fine. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
So Prabhuji, then this way we have 100 plus Maharaj in ISKCON. So that means we have 100 plus Shiksha Guru.
You can have million Shiksha Gurus. However, you have to have some connection with them.
So Prabhuji, you just said that he has to be on the same level. So how we can have million Shiksha Guru when we only have 100 Diksha Guru?
No, sorry. What I meant was there's no fixed number. Like you could have another 100 Gurus. One of our Gurus is gone over time. Right? What I meant was there's no fixed number. Right? It doesn't have to be just 10, 20, 30. It could be any number. As a matter of fact, there's nowhere is it written that there's a maximum Shiksha Gurus. Now, typically, you'll have connection with only one or two. You won't have many. But the field is available. Field is open to you.
So Prabhuji, that means we have. So what is the qualification of a Shiksha Guru then?
Shiksha Guru, again, same qualifications as Diksha Guru, except he may not have initiated you. So has to understand scriptures very well, has to explain them very well. Somebody please mute yourself. Okay. All the other examples that has to have the control over their urges, has to be totally surrendered. Now, all those same qualifications that you have for Diksha Guru. That's what I was saying. Typically, your Shiksha Guru will become your Diksha Guru. Not always, but typically. So, and that's another point I want to make. I can never be a Diksha Guru. I'm simply not qualified. Right? So, therefore, I remain a Shiksha monitor. And somebody at the level of my Guru Maharaj can be a Shiksha Guru. And I give the example of He's known as Radha Goswami because I know him very, very well, love him dearly. And absolutely, he's my Shiksha Guru. आप म्यूट कर लो Okay, any other questions?
But I have another question.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Absolutely not. This is a very important topic.
So, nowadays, with social media, YouTube, Instagram, there are so many people out there that are preaching. And it sounds like because we don't have, I think it's because of our lack of knowledge, like you said, we get emotional, we get very much impressed by something somebody has said. And I think this is the heart of my question was we hear so many different lectures, but we don't know the qualifications because we don't have a relationship with a lot of people that might be preaching. And that's where you come across some discrepancies. Somebody might be saying things and they're still in the disciplic succession, but we don't know, their level compared to our Diksha Guru's level. How do you reconcile that when you're listening to so many different people talking about the same thing, but from like a different perspective?
Yeah. So remember 2 verses ago, we talked about objective knowledge and subjective knowledge. And I said subjective is when you use your own filters to have your understanding. Unfortunately, we all have our filters. So same thing said, we understand it differently, and therefore we explain it differently. And that's where the discrepancies come. In the genuine spiritual masters, Shiksha Guru or Diksha Guru, the expectation is that those filters are not there, and they understand the information as it is. When Prabhupada talks about as it is, he talks about remove your filters. That's what it means. Remove your filters and stop giving your interpretations. Understand what Krishna actually said. And that's how you become in the disciplic succession. So a lot of us, and I hope nobody's hurt by this statement, but a lot of us who are in the disciplic succession, we're not. Because we keep interpreting the instructions, we keep coming with our own explanations, and that's where the deviations come. That's why Prabhupada said, I don't want to say anything except repeat the words of the acharyas. My spiritual master told us once that when he met Srila Prabhupada the first few times, he was very upset because Prabhupada kept saying, this acharya said this, that acharya said this, that acharya said this. He said, what's wrong with this person? He never says what he thinks. I want to know what he thinks. And then he says, only later on I realized, no, he's not supposed to think. He's supposed to repeat the words of the acharyas. That's how you maintain the disciplic succession. Otherwise, the 4 defects we have, we always illusion, we make mistakes, we have tendency to cheat, and our success is imperfect. We can't hear very well. I'm sorry to tell you, we can't hear very well. We can't see very well. Our mind is polluted. We cannot interpret very well. We certainly cannot retain everything. It's not like Sutta Goswami heard it once and remembered the 18,000 verses. We cannot do that. As a matter of one verse, we repeat 18,000 times, then maybe we can remember it. Forget about 18,000 verses that heard only once. So we have problems. Let's accept it. We have problems. That's why we cannot and should not try to become a guru. Just because we are explaining something doesn't make us a guru. Right? So Shiksha Guru is a big deal. This should not be taken that lightly. Krishna's Kaviraj is putting Shiksha Guru at the same level as Diksha Guru. So they're both equal to Krishna. So how many people do we know when we say, okay, equivalent to Krishna, right? And that should be maybe your litmus test. Can I put this person on the same platform? If not, then okay, you can hear the lecture, but can't put him on the same platform. There's some very popular speakers in ISKCON, but not guru level. They may get 100,000, 200,000, 500,000 hits, but they're not guru level. So certainly, I mean, who am I? And I'm saying that without being humble.
For clearing this concept.
I'm sorry?
I said thank you for clearing this concept.
I'm glad
Now,
you're clear.
last 3-4 sentences make the most sense.
Say again and again.
I said your last 3-4 statements made the most sense.
Oh, great. Okay, I'm glad.
They're the most simplified. And yes, many hearts are broken tonight. Women will have a sleepless night.
You mean finally I got it right?
But finally, we
Not
got
really,
it.
Prabhu.
Oh.
Yeah, because I thought the other way that everybody's thinking too, because like when I joined ISKCON, that Prema Bhakti was there, and she was always guiding me what to do and what to read and what courses to do, and I regarded her as Shiksha Guru, like I always did, honestly. Like some people in the temple, they're really good, but
Yeah, your Shiksha monitors. You can look at this.
but I never heard about monitor. Okay,
Yeah,
this is the first time I heard about monitor.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. It's not a very popular
They are
term.
mentors, right?
Well, mentor is, very broad term, right? They can be. I mean, Shiksha Guru is a mentor, no question.
Yeah.
But
प्रभु जी आप शिक्षा गुरु हैं तो शिक्षा गुरु ही हमारे रहोगे.
Okay, I mean, that's up to you, but I have to be honest with you and tell you how it is.
Yes, प्रभु जी हमें मालूम है कि आपने कितना सबको प्यार से समझाया है, कहाँ से लेकर आए हैं. आप शिक्षा गुरु है तो शिक्षा गुरु ही रहोगे.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Yeah, scripture practically है जो है, but you are the teacher. You are the teacher. Simple.
Okay, all right, thank you. Gayatri, you have your hand raised?
Actually, I just wanted to make a last. I agree with what earlier was said. There's so much clarification here, and I think, at least for myself, what you said about when you're listening to people, it has to be as it is. And you're right. There is a lot of viewpoints that come across that we don't pick up on, but maybe that is a good filter that we should have to see if this person is somebody that you should be taking as a Shiksha Guru or not.
Yes, absolutely right. Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you, Babu. Thank you for clarifying.
This is a very serious relationship.
Yes.
A very serious relationship. As serious as the Diksha Guru relationship.
Prabhu, there's one thing that I would like to share. That my Guru Maharaj was giving a class and he was sharing from Jiva Goswami's notes that he said there is another Guru called Shravan Guru.
Yes.
Shravan Guru is one from whom we hear. We don't necessarily take the instruction. We just hear from those persons. That's all.
Yes.
But without having to take instructions. So they are called Shravan Guru.
That's Prabhu. Thank you so much. I was not articulating it right. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. It makes so much sense in the context of what we're talking about. So actually that reminds me, there's another Guru. It's called Vartama Pradarshak. That's the person who brought you to Krishna consciousness in the first place. Whether by distributing a book or giving instruction or giving a class or whatever, it's called Vartama Pradarshak. He brought you to Krishna consciousness, he or she. So that's another type of Guru.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another Guru is talking to you, Guru. Prabhuji.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so should we move or more questions?
Prabhuji,
Ji?
now it's a big relief. We cannot call you Shiksha Guru as per the instruction in scriptures, but we can call you Shravan Guru.
Just call me, hey you.
Hey Krishna, sorry. Can you hear me?
I can hear you very well.
Okay, so this is a big relief that as per your instruction and the instructions in scripture, we cannot call you Shiksha Guru, but we can call you Shravan Guru now. So at least some Guru title is there.
Thank you.
Prabhuji.
Haji.
Born and raised in South India, I've always had this concept that only a sannyasi can be a guru, right? Who can give you initiation. But when I came to ISKCON, I found that there were some grihastha gurus also. And I found it a little difficult to understand that part. How can a grihastha be a guru, Prabhu? Like,
so, Krishna defines sannyasi in Bhagavad Gita. He doesn't talk about the sannyasa status. He talks sannyasi, a tyagi. The one who's renounced, truly renounced, is one who's not attached to material things, one who is not attached to, does not have material desires, one who is serving Krishna fully, one who's using everything he has in his position in the service of Krishna, and that's the sannyasi. So the grihasthas that we are talking about are in fact sannyasis. I'll give a, because I know this, so I can give a practical example. Vashishika Prabhu, wonderful, wonderful devotee, wonderful guru, Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, whatever you want to call him, depending upon who you are. I hope it's not too personal, but basically he sleeps in the garage of his house. Mataji sleeps in a different room. And there are many other things that they do. That puts him on the status of sannyasi, although he's married. So marriage is just this, a status that happens to be. You don't have to give up your wife if she's totally compatible or totally supportive of your activities. And the attachment is, the physical, material attachment is not there. The emotional attachment, the spiritual attachment is there. That's why you're husband and wife, but the physical, material, gross attachment is not there. And then it's fine. There's no difference.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Sure.
Prabhuji, now you have got two designations, Shiksha Guru and Charan Guru.
Well, you have Vartama Pradarshak, Shiksha Guru, Charan Guru, you have...
you have both the designations now.
Huh?
You have both now.
Yeah, we have one of them.
And Charan Guru.
Okay, and there's also Guru Ghantal, don't forget that.
No.
I'm just saying.
Okay. About that.
जैसे प्रभु जी जैसे मादी भाग जो आप शिक्षा गुरु में तो शिक्षा गुरु ही रहेंगे हमारे
आज से शरण गुरु भी हो गया.
Okay, thank you. Okay, should you go text 49?
See, Prabhu, how many of them agree with me? Yay.
Well, who will dare not agree with you? You tell me.
That's a totally different angle. But
okay, text 49 should sound very familiar to all of you. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam tadami buddhi yogam tam jena mam upayanti te. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. This is 10:10, clearly states how Govindadev, so this is Krishna as Govindadev instructing his devotee. Right? It declares that by enlightenment and theistic knowledge, he was attachment for him to those who constantly engage in loving service. Thus, awakening the divine consciousness and enthralls devotee with this relationship with eternal transcendental mellows, such as. Okay, my point is those who are constantly engaged because they're convinced about the value of devotional service. They understand Krishna is the absolute truth. Krishna is all spiritual. And Krishna is all powerful. There's nobody like Krishna. Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate, natasya samo avyadhika drishyate. Shvetashvata Upanishad says there's nobody equal to or greater than Krishna. Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, text 7, Matta partaram na annat kinchit asti dhananjaya. There's no higher truth than me. So one who understands all that, he is helped by Krishna in giving him the intelligence by which he comes. In other words, intelligence coming in the form of instructions as to how to perform devotional service to me, how to understand who I am, how to understand how you are, and what your relationship is with me, and what is your ultimate goal in life. All that knowledge comes from Krishna to person who's constantly engaged in his devotional service. Okay, any questions on that? Okay, text 50. Yatha brahmane bhagavan swayam upadishyanu bhavitavan. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Swayam Bhagavan taught Brahma and made him self-realized. Now, this is the beginning of the parampara. The knowledge from Krishna. Oh, by the way, no parampara is bona fide unless it starts with Krishna. Can somebody answer me why? Why a bona fide parampara has to start with Krishna?
Prabhuji, the real instruction knowledge is coming from Krishna through Brahma.
Why?
So he is the origin. Yeah.
Now, my question is, why does a bona fide parampara have to start with Krishna?
He's the original being.
Sorry?
And he is the Purushottam, Uttam, like he's never born from anyone, and he is the supreme person.
Okay, fine, but that's not the answer I'm looking for.
He is the original Guru, Krishna.
Okay. So what? So what?
Because he is Achyut, so when he is imparting any knowledge,
correct,
there are no defects in that.
Correct. Exactly. So he's perfect. His knowledge is perfect. What he gives out is perfect. Any human being, when they start something, they're affected by the 4 defects that we talked about earlier. Krishna does not have those 4 defects. Krishna is never in illusion, never makes mistake. Like she said, Achyuta, never makes mistake, right? He doesn't have tendency to cheat, and he's certainly not in illusion. Therefore, whatever comes from is perfect, and therefore, only a parampara that starts with a perfect being can be bona fide. The rest everything is bogus because it's mixed with one or the other of the 4 defects, if not all 4. Is that clear?
What about a pure devotee?
What about a pure devotee? If he's a human being, still possibility of mistakes.
But I guess I was thinking of like expansions of Krishna, like if it's Balramji.
That's not a pure devotee. That's expression of Krishna.
Okay.
It's not different.
Okay.
That was Swans.
Okay.
Right? That's different. That's Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Not the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, but Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's perfect by definition.
Okay. Thank you.
Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam. Yamaraj tells his servants, Yamdutas, that a religion can only start with Krishna or his expansions. Krishna or his expansions. Not the human beings, not Devata, not Danavas, not Vidyadhar, not Charana, nobody. Only Krishna. Because that's where the perfect being is. Okay?
Thank you.
Prabhuji, like Mataji says, what about pure devotee? But is that not the prerequisite? If one is a pure devotee, they obviously are falling under a parampara which begins with Krishna.
No pure devotee has started a parampara. They are part of the parampara. They're perfect in the sense of keeping it as it is, but they don't start parampara. Tell me one pure devotee started a parampara. A genuine, bona fide.
Yeah, they all follow in the same parampara that begins from Krishna.
Precisely. The 4 Vaishnava paramparas, as we know, right? What are the 4? Anybody knows?
Shri Sampradaya,
Yeah.
Rudra,
Yeah. Shri,
Kumar,
yes, Kumar,
and
Gaudiya, Madhava,
Brahma.
Yeah.
Right? So they all are heads of the Sampradaya, but they all start with Krishna. All 4 of them start with Krishna. Right? So you can't have anything starting with, Kumaras, Lord Shiva, they are very, very pure, very, very elevated personalities. Brahma himself, right? But they all start with Krishna. Okay. Nana, you raised your hand?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, it's me.
Yeah.
So, Prabhuji, I know that we are gonna take this a little bit on site now. So, Prabhuji, what about Shankaracharya and his philosophical teachings? I know it's more on a Mayavad side, but we do have lots of people who do believe on that, right? So, what about that? Like people who do follow that?
Well, so we reject that completely, right? As you know, we reject it completely. Even Shankaracharya rejects it. The person who started rejects it. He says, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Mudumate. right? Do you know that Shankaracharya wrote the Jagannath Ashtakam?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Right? So why is he doing that if he thinks whatever he's doing is genuine? He doesn't believe this. He came here for the purpose of fooling people for a different reason. Right? He was instructed by Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu to go do this. Right? Because people had stopped studying the Vedas. That was his purpose, to get people to start studying Vedas again. But he himself didn't believe in anything he said. How can Lord Shiva believe in all the things the Shankaracharya said? He said, I'm doing this because I've been told to do. My heart is not in it. Right? Okay. Anybody else? Okay.
This class is actually the PhD class.
Today's
Now
the
I'm realizing why in the introduction part you said it is a bit difficult.
Oh, it is difficult, even for me.
But so many new learning, Prabhuji. I mean, like now when you put together things, yes, no other parampara could start without Krishna.
That's right.
Yeah, this is a light bulb moment.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, I keep saying, there's a lot of things, a lot of things I don't understand. I'm just skating here, literally skating. But it's helping me also because when I try to explain it, my concepts are clear. So that's helping me as well. Okay, let's go to text 50. No, I
think Prabhuji, we should end here.
We should end
This
here.
is enough for tonight, Prabhuji.
Okay, let's do one more, then we'll stop.
Okay.
Text 51. Jnanam param guhyam me yad vigyan samanvitam sarahasam tad angam cha grahan gaditam maya. Please hear attentively what I shall speak to you. For transcendental knowledge about me is not only scientific, but also full of mysteries. And that's what we've been talking about. Everything we hear about Krishna is full of mystery. How do you explain absolute truth lying about not having eaten dirt? How do you explain the absolute truth is stealing butter? How do you explain the Supreme Controller being controlled completely by the devotees? So many mysteries. So many mysteries. But Krishna is saying, hear attentively. So that's the first, to understand all these mysteries, the first requirement is listen to this attentively. And we can't be doing our cell phone, can't be doing our newspaper, you can't be doing, other mental calculations. We are hearing these things because it won't work. It won't work. It is very complicated. It is very deep. And we are sitting here without, and I'm talking about me, without proper qualification. We're just trying to jump very hard to grab a flower that's so high on the tree, but we're trying. But that does require us to be very attentive.
If you say, Prabhuji, you are not qualified. So how about us?
It's the truth.
How about us?
It's the truth.
No, Prabhuji.
How about us?
Anyway, let's keep going. Purport. Transcendental knowledge of Sri Krishna is deeper than the impersonal knowledge of Brahman. Brahman is easy. Brahman effulgence is easy. It's Krishna that makes it tricky. It includes knowledge of not only his form and personality, but also everything else related to him. So when we say Krishna, we don't just mean Krishna the person or the God. We mean Krishna's devotees, we mean Krishna's form, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's pastimes. All those things are included in the one word Krishna. And that makes it very complicated, very difficult. There's nothing in existence not related to Shri Krishna. So actually that reminds me of something that happened about 8-9 years ago. There was a Mataji in Toronto temple, and very wonderful devotee, but having a very hard life. Nothing basically was going right in her life. And then some people in the temple also started giving her a hard time. She was totally devastated. So she came to me one evening, I said, Prabhuji, I'm so tired. I'm so frustrated. I've had it. I'm going to run away from Krishna. Tears in her eyes. She said that very seriously. So I looked at her. I said, Mataji, when you get to that place where there's no Krishna, please let me know because I want to come there as well. She looked at me, then she stared at me, then she started laughing. She said, Prabhuji, I understand what you're saying. There is no place where Krishna is not there. There's nothing that does not relate to Krishna. It doesn't relate to Krishna, it doesn't exist, period. So we have to be aware everything is by Krishna, from Krishna, for Krishna. Krishna is everything. Everything else may not be Krishna. Krishna is everything. What's that verse? 9:4, chapter 9, text 4. He says, everybody's residing in me. I'm not there, but everything's residing in me. So there's no place, there's no entity, there's nothing that doesn't relate to Krishna. And we should understand that. In a sense, there's nothing but Shri Krishna, and yet nothing is Shri Krishna save and except the primeval personality. That's what we talked about. This knowledge constitutes a complete transcendental science. Vishnu wanted to give Brahmaji full knowledge about that science. The mystery of this knowledge culminates in personal attachment to the Lord, the resulting effect of detachment from anything non-Krishna. That's the point. If we fully understand that everything is Krishna, Krishna is everywhere, everything is a manifestation of Krishna energy, then we have no choice but to become attached to Krishna, because everything is Krishna. Right?
Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, can I ask a question?
Only if you want.
So people who are actually attached to materialistic level things and the bad things and all the foolish things, they are also attached to Krishna's energy, which is Maya.
Correct. So remember that verse 4:11. What does it say? Je yatha mam prapandante tam tatha bhajami.
Mama vartamano vartante.
Thank you. Manushya part sarvasha. So second line is saying, no matter whom you serve, you're actually serving me. Everybody's serving me in some ways. So either through Maya or through Yoga Maya. So all those people who are attached to material things, this is serving Maya. But Maya is Krishna. So they're serving Krishna, but indirect.
Gamblers are also serving Krishna?
Yes. Krishna actually says, I'm the gambler of the...
Gambler. I'm the biggest cheater.
Yeah, because I'm the cheater of the gamblers. Yeah, something like that.
Yes.
So yeah, there too, but through Maya.
They not attain me.
Everybody's serving Krishna either the wrong way or the right way. But everybody's serving Krishna. Right? There's another verse in Bhagavad Gita, 9:23. Let me see what it says. Yepi anya devta bhakta yanti shadhyanvita tepi mameva konte yanti avidhi purvakam. Those people are serving demigods. They're also serving me, but in the wrong way. So everybody, no matter who you are, you're serving Krishna, either the right way or the wrong way, but you're serving Krishna. There's nothing that exists without Krishna. Is everybody clear on that one?
Yes.
So Prabhuji, does Krishna accept if we do a wrong way?
Krishna does not accept it if you do it the wrong way. You're correct. It's Maya who accepts it and keeps it. Okay, oh, my dear boy, come and stay here. I got this nice, beautiful jail for you. You just stay here. I'll make it very comfortable for you. There you go. Sorry, Usha?
Keep coming and going back.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. The chakki piecing and piecing and piecing and piecing.
Prabhuji, in a Chaturshloki Bhagavatam also, that one sloka talks about that if there's no relation with Krishna, then it doesn't exist.
Correct.
It's an illusion only.
That's exactly right. So many different ways in so many different places, Krishna says that. But we still don't understand.
But he also says that who worships me attains me. Who worships ghosts, they attain ghosts. Who are worshipped in a tamagun way, they attain them.
Okay, so what's the point?
What's the point? That the right way to worship the right person.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. That's right. Okay, so just continuing with the paragraph. This knowledge that we just talked about constitutes a complete transcendental science. And Vishnu wanted to give Brahmaji the full knowledge about that science. The mystery of this knowledge culminates in a personal attachment to the Lord. When we understand that, we get attached to Krishna. There are 9 alternative transcendental means of attaining this stage. So, the Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, all those kind of things. We can use any of those 9 processes and get Krishna. They're all part of the same devotional service. Okay, and then Lord says, because I'm pleased with you, I'm revealing you this mystery. So, Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati Yam Yashashtata. Only way to know Krishna is through process of devotional service. Okay, so we're going to stop here, but any questions or comments? You can also comment on whether it's too much for you, whether I should tone it down. I mean, I can go faster and tone it down. And have you
Prabhu, it was perfect. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the right speed, Prabhuji.
Okay.
This is fine.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions or comments?
Yeah, just one question, Prabhu, about those discussion on Diksha Guru and Shiksha Guru. So when someone already has a Diksha Guru, and if he wants to have Shiksha Guru, so shouldn't he be taking permission from Diksha Guru as well?
That's a very good question. So you have an implicit permission because even Diksha Guru will say, I'm not here all the time.
Yes. Yes.
However, if you ever feel that your Shiksha Guru is giving you instruction that's not consistent with what your Diksha Guru has told you or instructed to you, then you should clarify it.
Right.
And either from the Shiksha Guru himself or Diksha Guru. This is some discrepancy. Maybe I don't understand it well. Maybe there's something else I'm missing. Right?
Yeah.
However, I do want to go back to the point that if they're both genuine, there shouldn't be really contradiction. One contradiction I can think of is not really contradiction. It may be a matter of focus. So, for example, you may have Shiksha Guru who's very much into book distribution. And you have Diksha Guru who's very much into deity worship. I'm just making it up. And your Shiksha Guru may say, well, come do book distribution and you don't have to do Aarti today. I say, wait a minute, that's not what my Diksha Guru has told me. Right? So that's a contradictory instruction.
Right.
And then you need to go back to either one of them and say, help me, because now I'm getting contradictory instructions. And if they're genuine, Shiksha Guru will tell you, no, do what Diksha Guru says. Okay?
Yes.
So the problem comes because a genuine person is very rare.
Yes.
It's very rare. And that's where the problem is. We talk about idealistic. The scriptures, because they're talking about such a high level of people, to us that seems idealistic. Especially us people in the age of Kali. We may be advanced, we may be senior, but we still have issues.
Prabhu, problem also comes because the disciples don't tend to clarify. They just
Yes.
hang on to
Yes.
the contradicting decisions.
Yes. As a matter of some disciples enjoy that. Let's get the two gurus fighting. And clearly that's not the right attitude, but you're absolutely right. We don't take the time to clarify. We don't take the time to internalize the instructions. We don't try to analyze and understand the real meaning of the instruction.
Prabhu, what was Prabhu, what was your question, Prabhu? If you have a Diksha Guru, and I didn't understand the question. What was his question? If you have a Diksha Guru and you want to ask something from...
No, he said you have Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru both. And you're getting contradictory instructions. Whom should you go to? Who should you follow?
So Prabhu, Preeti here, Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna, Preeti, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Prabhu. So isn't the Shiksha Guru the one who enlightens you and guides you towards finding your Diksha Guru?
Yeah, that's what we said earlier. Typically, your Shiksha Guru will become your Diksha Guru or tell you who should be your Diksha Guru. That's how it starts.
So did I hear this properly, or am I wrong? Did I hear you saying that the Shiksha Guru might not be initiated? No.
No, I never said that.
Oh, I got confused. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else?
Prabhuji, I have one question, please.
Yeah.
So when we are talking about different gurus, they have to be in the same, what do I say?
Parampara?
Like, yes, because here now this could become contradictory. You know, some people do like nectar shopping these days. You know, they're listening from here and then listening from some other parampara and some other gurus. Like, for instance, like, you know, these days Hipramanand Maharaj is like a big thing, and a lot of people listen to him. So, and a lot of, you know, contradictory things come. So when we are talking here about Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru, they have to be like, say, from ISKCON or from a certain, you know, I don't know how to put it
Yeah,
in
I understand
words.
your question. So first of all, absolutely mandatory, no question about it, has to be from same parampara. You stay away from other paramparas because you get so confused. Now, stay away not in the sense of insulting them. So for example, I'll give you an example. I got a call from somebody you know very well from Brampton Temple. And she said, I was thinking about giving a class on Sripad Ramanujacharya. And there are people calling me saying, how dare you do that? It's not our sampradaya. That is not our correct approach. He's head of Sri Sampradaya, very much respected. Srila Prabhupada often quotes him. It's very consistent. So glorifying an acharya is fine, but we don't spend time studying the instructions of other Sampradaya acharyas because there are differences. There's difference in the mood, the difference in the specific instructions. You'll get very confused. So yes, first of all, stay with the same sampradaya. That's one point. Second point is, if you're ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada has written everything you need to know. So at the very least, until you have studied all the books Srila Prabhupada has written and understood them, don't waste your time, because right now our understanding is very soft. It's not very mature and it's not very deep. It's very easy for us to get confused. So you will get confused if you read books not written by Srila Prabhupada outside of ISKCON. Sure, there are some books written by his disciples. They're fine. You know, I'm not saying anything against them, but your emphasis has to be on books written by Srila Prabhupada. Otherwise, you're asking for confusion. And finally, if you're really serious about Krishna consciousness, you would not want to read any other book. You would not want to go to another sampradaya, because it's like a man saying, well, my wife is nice, but I cannot like some variety. No, sorry, that's not allowed. It's the same thing. There's no difference. Okay, so yeah, we have to be loyal. We have to be loyal to Srila Prabhupada. Okay.
Sorry, Prabhu, I think I misunderstood. So you said that we should not be reading any books written by any other authors except ISKCON?
I'm saying we should not be reading books outside of ISKCON until we have read all the book of Srila Prabhupada and understood them, because otherwise you'll get confused. Nobody's going to come and slap you, but you'll get confused.
Prabhuji, what about Itihas?
What about Itihas?
Like Ramayana and Mahabharata.
So once again,
ISKCON,
if you take Chaitanya, for example, it has certain things that are very in contradiction to our sampradaya. So for example, Chaitanya emphasizes in places that the Lord has no form. That's not what our understanding is. So if you read that, you'll get confused. So there's room for confusion. That's my point. Right? Ramcharitmanas is an exception in the sense that most of us Indians have grown up, North Indians anyway, have grown up with it. So it's very kind of hard to just simply give it up. But we have to understand there are differences that can be confusing. And that's what we're talking about. I mean, it's hard enough to understand one thing. When you mix up with three other things, it's even more confusing.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Sure.
Prabhuji, can I clarify one thing?
Sure,
so, does it mean that the four sampradayas, there might be contradiction, but there's a way to reconcile the contradiction, but we just don't know how to do it? So that's why, given our limited knowledge of not being able to reconcile, we should stick to whichever we are.
Yeah, that's also a good point. Yeah. It's basically, our understanding is soft to start with. And when studying contradictory things, then we get all confused. Remember, there was a devotee by the name of Mukunda with Lord Chaitanya. And he was spending time with Mayavadis. And Lord Chaitanya got so upset, he refused to see him when he was going darshan to everybody else. As I'm talking about Mayavad, he actually said, when a Mayavadi takes my name, I feel like he's taken a sword, he's cutting my limbs one at a time. So it can be very strong. And above all, my point is, if we have not had time to read one set of books, what's the reason? What is the motivation for going to other sampradayas reading their books? Like, what is the motivation? Let's try and understand one thing first. Okay? Okay, it's 9:36.
Okay.
I think
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Vansha kalpatarubhyasya kripasindhya.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, Pita.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Isha, I just saw your name there. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the nice class. I got like a lot,
you.
and I would say a lot to know, and a lot of other things that I had literally never even heard of, to be honest. Yeah.
Sure. As long
Hare
as
Krishna, पिताश्री दिमाग ठंडा हो गया.
Yeah, I was like literally thinking of sharing all this with Chaitanya. So at least, that would just give me I mean, I will try my best to explain because like as I don't want to be, those word of what do we say? Like someone says something and I reiterate in my own words. I don't want to do that.
Yes,
but yeah,
yes,
I'll try to. And you anyway record the session, right? So it should be fine. Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much. We literally got a lot to know, and it's just like she missed out a lot of things.
Yeah, I know. So talk to her, tell her to join us.
Yeah, it's just like she had to work today, and probably when she came home from work, she's always tired and kind of want to relax, and that's why she just couldn't make it. So I was like, it's fine. I'll try sharing it with you.
Sure. That's good. Actually, sharing with her would also help you understand better.
Exactly, that's the thing. Yeah, because that's what happened. Like today, I heard a Bhagavatam class in our ISKCON Melbourne temple today. I mean, Krishna kind of invited me, and I tried going there. So I tried sharing the same with her. So it kind of rewind everything that I heard. And basically, although these are little things, simple things, because they try to make it as simple as they could, but sometimes we still tend to forget and try not to understand little things.
Yeah.
But it helps when we share it with others.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
It was good.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for your time. Have a great day. Night, actually. Bye.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Take care. So
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. How are you guys feeling?
We are doing good, Prabhuji, recovering very fast.
Oh, good. That's great. That's great. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Usha.
Hari Bol, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you, Gautam.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. Oh, Mata ji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
कैसे हैं आप?
हाँ, अच्छे.
That's good. That's good. Nice to see you.
Confused about the Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru. That's what I can't understand only that.
Now you understand better?
I have to talk to you.
Sure.
I'll talk.
Call whenever you want.
Okay.
My number.
Sure, Prabhu.
Okay, take care.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Ashok Kapoor, did you say you have a question? Okay, take care.
No problem. No question. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Hari Bol.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.